All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, first and foremost, we have to give all the praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bahashim,
Hashem,
Yahweh Shai,
Yahushai,
Bahashim,
Hashem,
Ruach Kadash.
Ukakadai.
All right, double honors and respect to our apostles and elders, a great millstone, who rule well and taught us his truth. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, the hopeful elect in the 1/3, his brother Salah.
What's up?
All right, yeah, brother Salah here. All right, and all right, in today's video, man, we be covering the the short video. You see it right here. A brother sent me this video, but man, Caesar Nero, right? DJT 47. He basically confirms that he authorized a covert CIA action in Venezuela, right? And in these last days, man, Esau, man, he's basically getting exposed, for all the wickedness he's doing, man, all these covert operations, man, so he could justify, sending the troops on people, man, like you'll see in this video, man, like Nero, man, he'll basically admit that they sent the CIA, to Venezuela, or he's been working, with these drug traffickers, right, to allow these drugs and allow these immigrants, and just so he has an excuse, to send the troops, but he'll try to deflect the blame and say like, oh, he'll he'll accuse Jake, man, and categorize him and say, and say that, oh, these people, they're not human, they're beasts, they're they're drug dealers, gangbangers, they're criminals, man, and then he'll use that as an excuse, to send out ICE and his and the National Guard, man, which is ultimately Jacob's trouble, man, he's basically, finding an excuse, to declare war on the tribes, man, and the reason why he's doing it is because, pertaining back to Revelation, 12 verse 12, this devil knoweth he has but a short time, which is why he's acting fast, to enact war on those tribes, right, 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11, at least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices, man. So all
Um,
this, man. Yeah. So all this is, is order ab kale, man. What Esau does, And I like this picture right here. Like Esau, man. He'll create the problem, right? Like 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 um he'll put Jake in a bad situation. He'll make he'll set up a system where, where it makes, where it makes Jake, to buy a house, get a mortgage, put Section 8, put him in these projects or these ghettos, right, separate the father from the
um,
households, and then get these drugs, from the Northern Kingdom, right, because Esau's exploiting the countries down there, right. Right, so what did they do? Like they got no choice, but to comply, set up the drugs, sell the drugs, down in South and Central America, to to send back up here in Babylon, right, and then send those drugs and these ghost guns, right, these weapons, to the hood, man, and say Jake's the problem, right, and all this was, and all this was plans out by this damn devil, just so he could persecute us, man. Like you see this picture right here, man. Like you see Esau bloody as hell, but he points at 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 Jake, saying, he's the fucking villain, he's the murderer, he's the gangbanger, he's the thief, man. He's the scum of society. When it's this motherfucker here, with this military industrial complex, going back to his blessing the sword, right? Bombing every other country, murdering, raping, robbing, pillaging, right, right, and this brings me up, to this opening scripture, right? 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, right? Right, and that's, and Esau, man, his curse being lifted, man, he's being outed, for the fucking devil that he is, so, right? So, yeah. All right, so before I play this video, right, in that fucking Nero, run his damn mouth, we gonna get the copyright disclaimer. All right, so research tools. All right, disclaimer, copyright disclaimer to Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use, for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. We are not making any money or any monetary gain out of this, and we're not presenting any medical information. You see the copyright disclaimer right there. So with that, and we're gonna play the video.
President Trump confirmed moments ago authorizing a covert CIA operation in Venezuela amid stepped-up U.S. military activity against accused drug boats near that country. The president also said, somewhat ominously, that he was looking at U.S. military actions on land to fight drug cartels. These new details about Venezuelan drug cartels coming as a result of questions posed by our own Ed O'Keefe, who I'm happy to say joins us now from the North Lawn. Ed, take it away.
Well, Major, it was the New York Times that first reported this afternoon that these covert operations had been approved by the president, so we just put it to him simply. Why? Take a look. Mr. President, thank you. Curious, why did you authorize the CIA to go into Venezuela? And is there more information you can share about these strikes on the alleged
Well, I can't
drug
do
boats in
that,
the
but
Caribbean?
I authorized for two reasons, really. Number one, they have emptied their prisons into the United States of America. They came in through the, they came in through the border. They came in because we had an open border policy. And as soon as I heard that, I said, a lot of these countries, they're not the only country, but they're the worst abuser. And they've entered they've allowed thousands and thousands of prisoners, mental institution, people from mental institutions, insane asylums, emptied out into the United States. We're bringing them back.
Now, we should point out hundreds of thousands of Venezuelans have come to the United States legally and illegally over the last several years, but there's no evidence that prisons were emptied to have those people then come here to the United States illegally. The president also saying, when I asked him, does the CIA have authorization to take out Nicolas Maduro, the leader of that country? There's a $50 million reward out for him, a bounty essentially, because the administration accuses him of working with drug cartels, but hasn't necessarily offered direct evidence of that. The president said, that's a ridiculous question for me to be given, not really a ridiculous question, but he said he wouldn't answer that directly. Otherwise, he said, though, they're feeling the heat, and he believes others have been feeling the heat, and I can tell you we've taken care of the sea. There's nobody, and we're watching, and if we see it, we'll save it, meaning if we see the drug boats coming, we will take them out. There's been bipartisan concern expressed by Democrats and Republicans in Congress that they're not getting the information they want and they need to better understand those military operations, not only the legal justification, but the direct evidence that these people on those vessels were indeed working for drug cartels or moving illicit drugs away from Venezuela or Colombia and towards the United States. The president says they'll get that information, but bottom line, they got to know drugs are being destroyed, Major.
And Ed, what was the context of the reference the president made to U.S. military activity on land?
Well, it was an earlier question from somebody regarding the ships, and he was asked, as I recall, because this only happened just a few minutes ago, would you rule out going on land, and he wouldn't. Now, look, this is a president who doesn't rule out a lot of things in public, and then authorizes or approves things in other ways after the fact. So leaving that hanging out there certainly is a risk that Venezuela will now face, and obviously it'll thunderclap around Latin America now that he's perhaps raised that or hasn't ruled it out. But there's no evidence as of now that there are plans for land operations. We do know, though, that the deployment of at least 6,000 U.S. forces across the Caribbean Sea area and the operations that have been carried out in recent weeks to take out those alleged boats, drug boats, are significant, certainly for this region of the world, and suggest there could be more to come.
Ed O'Keefe at the White House, thank you so very much.
All right, so all all right. So basically, man, we know, we know why, Esau, man, we know the real reason why, what you know why this damn devil, like he sends the he sends, you know why he sends these, these CIA agents, down in South and Central America, right? And we have the receipts from not Chat GPT, but from DeepSeek, the chat, the Chinese AI version of Chat GPT, which is basically the same thing, right? But I asked it, is the CIA involved with drug trafficking in South America, right? And or ask it, did the CIA work with drug cartels in South and Central America to allow drugs to be smuggled into the United States, right? That was the question I asked it, right, and it answered. Of course, this is a complex and controversial topic with a significant amount of documents and official investigation. The short answer is yes. Yes, in bold letters, there have been multiple well-documented instances where elements of the CIA and other U.S. government agencies allied with or turned a blind eye to individuals and groups involved in drug trafficking to achieve other foreign policy goals, primarily in Central America, right? And this basically proves our point, man. This fucking devil, right? He exploits these other countries, right? He makes them bow the knees, saying like, hey, yeah, you're gonna make you're gonna produce these plants, right? And then you're gonna you're gonna turn it into drugs, right? And then they send up their cartels, right? The CIA allows them to send these cartels across the border, right? Right, to send into Jake neighborhoods, right? The hoods, the quote unquote ghettos, right? The projects, right? Where Jake is, right? Right, where Esau, also like set up policies, to get the man out of the house, the woman raises the kids on their own, and these kids grow up to become, fucking YNs, right? Right, running amok, being gangbangers, and the example of that was the quote unquote, coke, war on drugs epidemic, during the time of Nixon, right? Which is all orchestrated by this damn devil himself, man. Man, and what was this to do? It was they used this to persecute Jake, but now here in 2025, they're basically using the same tactic again, but now Esau's going out after the northern and southern kingdom, man, with ICE and these national guards, man, and soon, man, all out hell's about to break loose on, that on top of the government shutdown, right, like these damn devils, right, they're basically egging on sedition among men, right? They're basically they're basically egging people to to go on all hell breaking loose, which it is happening right now, but it's gradual, right? Soon you're gonna see, soon this with the supply chain broken, right? What are you gonna see in grocery stores? Prices skyrocketing, hyperinflation, because of the government shutdown. Food becoming scarce, right? And all that's going to lead up to what? Chaos in the streets, sedition among men, breaking to one another, killing. You just going to see madness, man. Man, break loose, man. And then when the military troops, man, when they decide not to attack their own civilians, and they get sent, over the Middle East, or Western Asia, right? Right, near Palestine, and whatnot. What is Nero gonna do, man? What's DJT-47 gonna do? He's gonna send these foreign troops, man. He already has like I believe he has like Kuwait troops and established in America, man. And he's also gonna get the UN involved to what? Subdue the population, because of the because of all hell breaking loose, right? Right, you can have like foreign you can have foreign troops invade Babylon, man. So so like so basically, man, it's gonna be nothing but but chaos out here, and once that chaos gets to a certain point, then that's when they're gonna release the MOTV, man. They're gonna say like, okay, we have a solution, right? All right, we're gonna bring everything back in order. You're gonna be able to buy and sell. Participate in society, go back to work. If you take this, right, which is gonna be what that micro C up or that Neuralink, man. And all right. But the Al posted John 8 verse 44. Or it says, "You're your father, the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. He speaketh a lie, and he speaketh a lie. He speaketh of his own. He is a liar and the father of it, man." And yeah, man. When you saw that reporter asked Nero, all right, why did you send the CIA down to Venezuela, right? Why did you send them down to South and Central America? He basically deflected the fucking question and be like, oh, it's because they released their prisons and that they emptied their prisons, with U.S.'s open border policy, which we know now is bullshit, right? There is no evidence that that Venezuela or these people from South and Central America emptied their prisons, to let their quote unquote criminals into the U.S., man. We know this is this is Esau's war on the tribes because according to Revelation 12 verse 12 again, this devil knoweth he hath but a short time, right? Since we keep mentioning that, let's bring this out. All right, Revelation 12 verse 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil Esau, man, is come down to having great wrath, because he knoweth he has but a short time. He knows he has but a short time in rulership, man. And gone are the days of things tarrying, right? Before 2020, it seemed like Esau's kingdom. It seems like that feeling, right? It seems like Esau's kingdom was gonna keep going, right? But after 2020, that one event happened, right? Right, things started to speed up fast, right? And now here in 2025, man, we are in the beginning stages of Jacob's trouble, right? Right, and now it's being made very apparent, right? That Esau's kingdom is coming to an end, right? We're going to read Nahum chapter 1, starting at verse 2. Yahweh is jealous, and the Lord revengeth. The Lord revengeth, and is furious. The Lord will take vengeance on his adversaries, and he reserveth wrath for his enemies. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord hath his way in the whirlwind, in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet, man. And I remember that one bald devil. I forgot his fucking name. That's how unimportant he is. But he in his speech, during the CK incident or whatever, right? He said something about, oh, you awaken the dragon. We we are the storm, or some bullshit like that or whatever, right? Basically they mocking the Lord, right? But we know Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. He's gonna fucking destroy this devil's ass, man. And he gonna send them ICBM nuclear missiles after he rolls out with that MOTB, and America's gonna get destroyed. The elect, man. The 1/3 in Babylon are gonna get beamed up, and so are the and so are the mixed multitude. The scattered remnant. Across the four corners of the earth, they're gonna get beamed up. They get changed in their new spiritual bodies, man. And once we get changed, man, we can see Babylon get on fire. We come down, man, and we're gonna fly down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, and then we're just gonna fucking destroy these heathens, man. And put them into slavery, man. And we can't wait. All right. So we're gonna read the book of Obadiah. Yeah, we get started at verse 3. The pride of thine heart deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as an eagle, Slakia, though thou exalt thyself, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Right? right? Actually, let's read verse 5. If these came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? If they have not stolen till they had enough, if the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? And yeah, this basically proves how greedy this motherfucker is, man. This damn devil. He wants to take control of everything and everything, including your own damn body, which is why he wants to send out that micro seed, right? He wants to take that blessing back, but we know that as soon as he does that, the Lord's gonna fucking destroy his ass. All right. Here's the main point. I want to bring out verse 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Right. Right. So these other nations, man, that have dealt with Esau, right? Moab, China, Magog and Magog. The Edomites there living in Russia. Iran, even the EU, man, we're going back to the beast hating the whore, which I'll get that later. During the time of, during the midst of Jacob's trouble, right? When they're rolling out that MOTB, that micro CIP, man, they're gonna get to a point, right, that they're gonna be fed up with Babylon because of all the bullshit that they've done, man. Blowing up that Nord Stream pipeline, which Trump basically admitted. Yeah, which I showed in a previous video. And now this motherfucker literally admits to sending the CIA, basically showing that he is basically creating the problem for, for America, right? All throughout this Nero's presidency, man. He's brought Babylon down to a spiral. But guess what? That was all ordained by Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. To ultimately take down Babylon, right? Because now we're at the end of their kingdom, right? So now all we have are a few prophecies, man, which is the famine of the word, the persecution, of the men of the Lord, right, right, sedition among men, people invading one another, these foreign troops coming in, right, all hell breaking loose, madness, and then the rollout of that MOTB, and once that MOTB gets rolled out, within a span of I don't know, maybe a few weeks to like a couple of months, at most, maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but we don't really have much time. After that, then the nukes are gonna come, and that's when the fathership Yahweh Shai is gonna come, and beam up the elect, man. And so, so we basically at the end of this, right? So. And one thing I like to show, and you brothers can screenshot this as well. I googled CIA drug cartels declassified documents. And you see it right here. CIA. You type this into Google, or you screenshot this, and literally it's on the official CIA Gov where it says dope story, CIA FOIA, from the official government website. That basically admits that they've been running drug operations, across America, right? Across North, South, and Central America. So, so this devil's exposed, man. Like for all the wickedness that he's done, and even this receipt right here, man. It's it. From the brother Azan Al-Math. It says here, Elon Musk's AI chat GPT, or Slack, AI chatbot Grok turns against him publicly and calls him a hypocrite on X, or Twitter, man. And and Esau, and his own technology turning against himself, right? That takes us, the Psalms. Let's get this in the blue letters. The Psalm 60 verse 8, man. And where it says, no, Slocky, it was Psalm 64. Actually, no, it's 64 verse 8. where it says here, so they shall make their own tongue fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Right. Right. So, so it's the Lord, man. That's causing Esau to, to tell on himself, right? Basically admitting his wickedness, right? That's basically, the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, taking down Esau's strongholds, man. Things that he hid behind, right? So now, man, this damn devil is about to crash out, man. And resort to his blessing, which is what he's doing right now, man. Man, waging war on the tribes. So again, I'm gonna flash these receipts again, so your brothers can see. I'll do like 5 seconds for each. Brothers, screenshot this and I'll even post this on my page.
Uh,
Right, man. So, right. So basically, man, Esau, man, he don't got much time to, till he rolls out with that MOTV, man. We already in the midst. In the midst of of that third world, he already said peace and safety in the Middle East. What does that mean, right?
Esau, technically is when you go to the they didn't start really pushing it out, right? Just America ain't really like pushed it out, right?
Well, we'll Slocky, y'all pushed out what?
That chip.
Yeah. The MLTV, like they haven't pushed it out yet. They will push it out after all hell breaks loose, man. Yes.
He waited till that moment.
Yeah, he's waiting for the sedition among men. Let's get that. We're just gonna get a couple more precepts, and then we're gonna close this video off. This video is not meant to be too long. 2 Ezra chapter 15 verse 6. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Right. A man shall desire to go into a city, right? They want to travel to the next city, the next state, or they want to fly to another country. And they shall not be able to, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and great tribulation, man. And that's what's coming, man. And after that, man, that's when Revelation chapter 13, 16 on down is going to be incorporated, right? I'm not really gonna read it because we, us brothers, we should know this by now. But here it is on the screen, and your brothers can take a look at that. I'll just flash it right here for like a few minutes, or slack you a few seconds. All right, and then the end game, which is in the book of Job. Where it says, as soon as he is about to All right, Job chapter 20, verse 23. When he's about to fill his belly, man. So when he's in the midst of Michael C-hipping everyone, thinking that that's right, man. I'm gonna get that blessing back. I'm gonna take control, man. That's when Yahweh shall cast the fear of his wrath upon him and shall rain upon him while he's eating, man. He's gonna send these ICBM nuclear missiles, right? To destroy him, right? So not only that, right? right? Not just again, man, not no, it's not just gonna be China, Russia, and Iran, man, or any or it's gonna be all countries that have nuclear capabilities, man, and that's also gonna be the EU, man. Because it says this in the book of Revelation. Revelation chapter 17, verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire, man. Man, and NATO, the EU, they're also gonna turn on Babylon, right? Why? Because because of because of the Nord Stream pipeline, the fact that they're forced to buy liquefied natural gas or LNG, forcing them forcing them, to shut down their factories for like I would say like a not so reliable source of power for, for like their cities and stuff. And on top of that, man, they're gonna see their own troops get killed here in Babylon the Great, man. When they send their UN and FEMA troops, man. So so they're gonna have it out for Babylon the Great, man. They're gonna be like, let's fucking stop this madness and and fire them nukes, man. The Lord, man, he's gonna put the spirit on them, just to send the nukes and destroy these motherfuckers, man. Man, so with that, man, we're gonna end off the lesson right there. Unless you brothers have anything else you want to add.
It's constant keep enduring, man. That's all we can do. Literally.
Keep fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, man, we almost there, man. Now's not the time to get scared, man. We almost there, man. We see all these things happening that the Lord promised, right? And what's that ultimate thing that He's gonna promise us, man? Is salvation, right? Right. So we're gonna end off with this scripture. Book of Sirach, Book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 25, verse 7. There be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I'll utter with my tongue. A man that hath joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. So with that, we have to give all praises, honor, and glory unto the Heavenly Father, His only begotten Son, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba
Hashem,
Hashem, Yahweh Shai,
Yahweh Shai,
Ba
Hashem,
Hashem, Ruach HaKodesh.
Rakakadash.
Alright, double honors and respect to our apostles and elders, a great millstone, who unto us is truth. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, the hopeful elect in the 1/3, your brother Salah.
Hey, what's up?
And we have the brother Salah here. With that, we're to say Shalom.